Good day to you everyone and welcome back to Minecraft Hardcore. We're starting today off in the deep dark ancient city because I do love how this place is turning out so far. It won't be this episode's focus, but I've made a couple of changes here and there that I want to show you. This moat, for example, I felt like it was too bright for a place called the Deep Dark, and the greenery was just really standing out. So I've made it a bit darker by removing some of the sea pickles. There's now only a maximum of 2 pickles per block, and it really makes a significant difference when it comes to the lighting. I also asked you all what I should name my twin golems in the last episode, and I think I'm gonna go with Romulus and Remus. Remus being the dead one, and Romulus being the not yet dead one. In fact, I can demonstrate their current states of living. If I fly up onto Remus's head, for example, he's dead. Can't react. So his shriekers will still do so if I walk on them. Romulus, on the other hand, is still very much in the world of living, and as you can see, he really doesn't like it when you fly up onto his head, and will scream at you very loudly to get off. I mean, it's fair enough though, right? I wouldn't want a tiny human mortal scrambling around on top of my head either. He seems to be okay with me being on his arm though, so that's cool. I can still ride him if I want to, and it won't irritate him at all. The other arm though is definitely out of the question. He's a bit sensitive there due to ancient wounds from defending the city, and he's still active after all this time defending the city to his last breath. Remus, on the other hand, he's dead. We should all send him a get well soon card. But anyway, this city is supposed to be an ongoing project and Rome wasn't built in a day, so onwards to other things. I want frogs, so I think we're going to try and find a swamp and breed up some tadpoles to take home with us. Now, given that the Deep Dark is located in 1.19 chunks, I think I'm more likely to find frogs nearby than trying to find them at previously generated chunks. So let's fly around here and try to find a new swamp. Hopefully a mangrove swamp, because I could definitely do with the new beautifully red wood type. It looks like we've got a nearby village, which is excellent. I might kidnap some of the inhabitants to populate our city in the future. Oh, that took next to no time at all. We have a swamp, complete with a witch hut, and what looks to be a snow biome next to it too. This is perfect! I hadn't found a proper snow biome yet. I hope this means that we've got icebergs nearby. Another village, good, good. I might become some kind of a menace there too. So we've actually got 2 witch huts in this swamp. I don't think they're close enough to make use out of both though, but that would be really nice. Yeah, no, they're definitely too far apart. Oh well. Yes! Icebergs! I finally have them! I can finally make proper iceboat roads in the Nether. I've been waiting so long for these to show themselves. I'm definitely going to have to come back here and harvest them all for blue ice in the future. There's so many of them too! I'm going to be drowning in ice! You know, I always like to look at shipwrecks like this one and try to imagine a story for them and how they got there. This one is definitely one of the weirder ones. Oi! Get out of here, phantoms! How many of you do I have to kill before you get the hint? Aha! Something about this igloo, I don't know what, just a tiny little something, makes me think that there might be a dungeon underneath it. Oh my goodness! A trapdoor! What a surprise! Hello, fellas. What did you two do to get locked up down here? You know, you don't look too good, and an apple a day keeps the doctor away, so I hope you feel better soon. Oh, hang on. Was that a stray noise that I just heard? I think they're one of the last mobs that I need to kill for that advancement for killing one of every hostile mob. Yup. I don't see a stray in my statistics here. Oh, he's burning. I need to kill it quick. There we go. I think I dealt the killing blow there. I saw the spectral effect. Yup, there it is. I have now killed 1 stray, and a second one for good measure. Yeah, there we go. The Monsters Hunted advancement. I've only got 2 mobs left to kill. And I know that one of them is the Piglin Brute, because they weren't in the game back when I first went looting bastions. I don't know what the last one is though. I know it isn't the Warden, because Mojang is trying not to incentivize killing the Warden, so it's something else that I haven't encountered yet. What do you think it is? Let me know. and next episode I'll try to cross this advancement off of the list. Ah, you seem to have gotten better. I'm afraid that you two clearly committed some sort of crime to be locked up down here though, so have fun serving the rest of your sentence. Goodbye, have a nice day. Aha! A ruined portal has appeared to probably disappoint me. Oh yeah, how predictable. That is a third witch hut. Wow, is that close enough to one of the other ones? No, I suspect not. That could have been so cool though. Now I've been flying over this swamp for a while, hoping that there would be a mangrove swamp attached to it. But I think I'm out of luck. There isn't one here. So I'm not going to be able to make use out of the new wood type just yet. But we do have frogs. Hello, Froggy. Wow, I have to say that as far as mob design goes, frogs are one of my favourites. They've got this really cool walking animation, and they can hop around, and they have a unique baby version as they produce tadpoles, and they can give you a new light block called Froglights if they eat a magma cube, which is a little bit difficult to arrange, but I plan to take on that challenge in this episode. So let's breed these guys up. Ah, gonna put it right under the tree. Okay, there is now no tree. Oh, just look at them run! Their animations are so cool. This is Kevin. He's a lazy frog spawn that takes way too long to hatch into a tadpole. Don't be like Kevin. No one likes Kevin. There we go, we have our first tadpoles. And an advancement to go along with it. And our first tadpole shall be called Jeffrey. Right, 6 tadpoles should be more than enough for what I want to do today. I don't really need you guys anymore, so bye! So I wanted tadpoles so that I could build myself a frog farm. And a frog farm is necessary because I don't know if you've noticed, but this is actually episode 69 of the Let's Play. Nice! So for the Froglight Farm that I want to build for this episode, I need a frog farm before that, so that I could mark the occasion and then put 69 frogs into it. That makes 23 of each type. And I think a good place to build our little frog farm is at the top of this hill here. In fact, I would really like to give this hill a full makeover and do some landscaping here. I've been wanting to do that since the start of the world. This is my patented frog farm design. We need to stop the frogs from entering the water, but still need to enable them to reach the water to lay down their frog spawn. So to do that, we're going to have them on honey blocks, and they're going to be trapped by chain blocks. This way, they can lay their frog spawn, but they can't escape. But I need to put tadpoles in there first, so we're going to have full blocks here temporarily. I think the best way of getting frogs into here is actually just to grow the tadpoles up within the farm. That should work. Let's just put these little guys in. We've got 6 tadpoles here, so that means 3 breeding pairs for me to work with. And to stop them from escaping once they've grown up, we're just going to cover them up here. Now frogs like ponds, so we're going to go ahead and build one for them here. And of course, ponds also need water. Yeah, this should be a good pond. I'd like to be able to walk up to the frogs to be able to breed them though, so I've come to the swamp near to my stronghold to collect some of these lily pads. And with them, I can create a nice little walkway across the pond. I was also thinking about incorporating mud into the pond design as well. But since I wasn't able to find a mangrove swamp, I am stuck with generating mud in a different way, with dirt and a water bottle. This is an easy enough way to get mud into your builds though, if you've got a good water source, so it's not too bad. We'll add some sea pickles, as well as some seagrass to spice up the pond life. Ah, this is a little bit more irritating to work with. It's when the dirt is not actually in the water with you, so you've got to be going back and forth and back and forth. Ah well, we'll get it done. Ah, finally! I felt like this was taking forever. And one just glitched through the block when it grew up. Okay, that wasn't supposed to happen. But if I just replace the glass here with chain blocks again, you can see that the frogs can't escape through the gap. Their hitbox is just ever so slightly too big. Now where did that last frog go? I need to put it back in the farm. Ah, there you go. Come with me, sir. Wait, what? No! You weren't supposed to come out as well. Stop! Are you even doing that? Oh, it's because I took the top block away to put the other one in. Ah, for goodness sake. Alright, get back in, frogs. You've had your fun. Come on now, there we go. But yeah, you can see from their hitbox that they are just ever so slightly too big to get under these chain blocks. And that's with them sinking into the honey by a little bit. So all I have to do is feed them some slime and they can lay some frog spawn for me. And the tadpoles, when they hatch, will be completely separated from the frogs, which is perfect. We need to give our frogs a proper home though, so I'm thinking of building them a nice little hut for them. I'd also like to add clay to the block palette here, because I think that could go well with the pond. It does need a little bit more spice though, so we're also going to add some drip leaves. Now this might be a bit weird, but trust me on this, I'm also going to add exposed sea pickles around here too, because I think they can make the environment feel a lot wetter than without. They kind of look like a kind of liverwort or something, so I'm going to take full advantage of that. So this is going to be the general look of our frog farm. What do you think? Let me know! It looks pretty cool, right? I think it's the perfect environment to be breeding frogs in. The tadpoles will love it! There is one small issue with the pond though, and that is that it doesn't have a bottom. More of a pond dish at the moment than an actual pond. So I say we fix that, and we also do a big landscaping project here at the same time. I have this fantastic image of a hill with like a giant crater in the middle, and there's going to be some water springs feeding a waterfall coming out of the side and into our coral lake. Sounds awesome, right? So let's go! And welcome back everyone. I've been doing a lot of building and digging, and it has resulted in a rather fierce chest monster starting to form. I know, this is a terrible habit, but I just need somewhere to temporarily put my stuff, you know? Anyway, you'll see I finished building the rest of the frog hut, and I decided to keep the same colours as the rest of the town here. But I have gone for a rather different build style, a much more organic one. Since this is a frog farm, I wanted to make it look like the hut itself had warts like you might see on a toad, and I think I've achieved that pretty well here. I did originally want mangrove logs here instead of jungle as well, but I don't have mangrove yet, so this is jungle now. I don't know, I might change it in the future, I might not. But I think the jungle actually goes quite well here, to be honest. I've been really hoping for a wandering trader to pop up offering the propagules though, and I had a few turn up during the build process, but they all traded the wrong stuff, which is unfortunate. You see, as much as I like to explore, doing so increases the file size of the world quite considerably, and I don't want to trim the chunks because I feel like I'd be deleting history from the world if I did so. So I'm actually kind of relying on the Wandering Trader at the moment, and he is not playing ball with me right now. So you might be thinking, Whistler, your crater is incredibly grayscale. Why didn't you give it any texture? Well, I do plan to. It's just that I haven't really done a landscaping project this big before, so I wanted to make sure I was getting the shape of it right first. This is basically practice for the islands in the Nether that I hope to build. So far though, I think I've done pretty well with the shape of this place. I think I just need to go in and add a bit of a gradient, maybe going from mud at the bottom to moss at the top. And I think that might just look fantastic. Oh, I can't wait to continue building here. I'd also like to add a nice oak walkway. Maybe with beehives as well, ringing around the edge here, so there's a good way to get down to the bottom here. And I've brought some of the frogs down as well, because I'd also like this to be a kind of froggy hole for frogs. I was hoping to get 5 of each type, and then they could hop around and act like the frogs do. Now I also have an old friend here. Do you remember way back when I name tagged some pumpkin mobs for Halloween? Well, one of them actually ended up inside the crater as I was building the walls. Well, I knew that this zombie was here the whole time, because I blocked him in. But I was thinking back to what I originally wanted to do with these pumpkin pals. I wanted to display them around my base, and I think I've only got 3 in place at the moment. So I was thinking that at some point in the future, we do something with this zombie. I could have him being eaten by a giant frog sat over there or something. That could be a fun little project to do. That's not all though, because another pumpkin pal actually ambushed me while I was building up here. And this one was a surprise, because I had no idea there was another one roaming around so nearby. I don't really know what to do with this one, but if you have any suggestions, let me know. We've also got some water springs at various different levels. This one in particular is the one that feeds the new waterfall. Wow, I've literally wanted to build a waterfall out of this cave just there since forever ago. And it feels so good to finally have it in the world. I might make some more tweaks to it in the future, but just having it now is awesome. And the waterfall itself gave me a good excuse to expand upon our rocky cliffside surrounding our lake here, which is another thing that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I didn't put any coral in the river, because with my logic, I'm thinking that the fresh water flowing from the springs would stop any coral from spreading up there. But I did still make sure to give it plenty of plant life. And one of the best things about having a waterfall is the fact that you can ride it down. Oh yeah, amazing. I need more frogs for the crater though, so I think it's time we work on that. I really want to have 5 of each type. Luckily, I only really have to wait for 2 types of frogs to age, as I could just dump some tadpoles into the spring at the bottom here, and we'll get some of the orange frogs. For the colder green frog variants though, I was wondering about whether or not I would be able to get them from the top of our mountain here, since there is actually snow here. Although, I can't help but notice that the snow has not replenished itself since the time that I harvested some of it for snowballs. And the ice hasn't come back. What's going on? I've been here for long enough since then, but it's raining now? What happened to the snow? Don't tell me that the weather map changed for the area recently. Is that possible? Would that have happened with the 1.18 update and I just didn't notice until now? Oh man, I liked being able to harvest ice from the pond up here. I guess I won't be able to do that anymore. It's still the same biome, so I can only guess that the weather has changed up here. That's so sad. Well, I guess I wouldn't be able to grow the green frogs up there anyway then. We do have a hot biome at our spawn mesa here though, so I should still be able to get the sandy frog variant. So let me just place the frogs in a little hole here. Now we wait. There we go. We have our sandy frogs. I don't really have a good way to get these guys home though, so I guess we'll just swim across the ocean. Come on in through the waterfall we go. There we go. We'll just let you loose here. I promise. You guys are gonna love this froggy hole when it's done. Now for the green frogs. I've looked at where I can get them on the wiki, and it looks like I can actually grow them in the deep dark on Java Edition. So it's back to the ancient city we go. Here we are. Wow, I love the view coming out of that portal, I've got to say. Hello Remus. Still dead, I presume? Hello Romulus. How are you doing today? Now I've got this very convenient moat here near to the portal, but I don't think I'll use it, because I don't know how hard it's going to be to get frogs from the moat and up into the portal. So instead we'll create our own little hole to grow the tadpoles in. There we go! We have our first green frog. I actually kind of wish that there was a deep dark sculpt variant that you could get of the frog here. In fact, I'd love to have that for every mob that is bred here. I just love the idea of the skulk corruption spreading to other living creatures, and that you would then have to deal with the consequences of that somehow. Oh, for goodness sake, a frog glitched through the block again. Well, it seems alright. It didn't die, which is good. Now, can frogs climb ladders? To climb or not to climb? That is the question. Oh, they can! Oh, okay, this is fine then. I can get them to the portal still. Now, if they would just come through the portal with me, that would be great. Are they here? Oh no, I forgot to make this portal frog safe. I really should have done that. Oh no, this is really going wrong. Oh, come on, these zombie piglins really aren't helping. Get out of the way, please. Right, I think I have them. No, I don't. Ah! I have no idea what happened to that frog, and it shall now be presumed dead. Oh no, another one has fallen. That's not good. Right, I'm sorry, but I'm giving that one up for dead too. It's accumulating fall damage, and there is no way for me to save it right now. Don't mind your dangling brother. Just forget about him. He brought this on himself. Okay, I think I'll be able to manage with these 3 at least. Provided I go in a straight line, and they don't hop anywhere. We'll be just fine. Wait, where did the third one go? Did it go back through the portal? Oh, for goodness sake. These frogs will be the end of me. Why do they work so hard against me? I'm just trying to give them a new home. 2 frogs will do for now. I can go back for the other one. Now, where are you? There you are. Oh wait, no, I meant to tie the lead, not to place the tadpole. Quick, get through the portal. Oh, I've just killed another one. This is not my day. This is not my day. I'm blaming that one on you, by the way. If you hadn't gone back through the portal just then, that wouldn't have happened. I'm just saying. Well, at least we now have 3 different types of frogs in the Froggy Hole. I did want 5 of each, but I've only managed to get 5 of the sandy variant. The tadpoles for the orange will grow up soon, so that's 5 for them too. I just need another 2 green ones. Come on, grow up! Grow up! I'm not waiting for you this time. Just grow up already. There we go, finally. I'm having to do a lot of waiting for tadpoles to grow this episode, and to be frank, I'm a little bit sick of it. Now, don't you dare fall off of this walkway. If you do, I'll be so mad. And you won't like me when I'm mad. I've not truly had that emotion for a very long time, and trust me when I say you do not want to test me right now. Right, okay? I think we're fine. Oh, get out of the berry bush, please. Ah. These frogs, eh? There we go. We have 5 frogs of each variant in our Froggy Hole at last. Finally. Unfortunately though, there must still be more frog breeding. I said I wanted 69 frogs for a Froglight Farm, and that shall indeed happen in spite of any frog deaths that may or may not occur. While I breed up more frogs though, I think it's time that we got to work on texturing our crater here. So I'm wanting to have a ring of moss going around the top, and to create a gradient to it from mud. And I think we're going to use tough and mossy cobblestone for that. I think that could look really good. And we'll try to add some greenery to the Froggy Hole in the form of moss as well. So this has ended up being a pretty big project, hasn't it? Oh, I'm very close now. Is this too close for you? Am I being very awkward and invading your personal space? Sorry, I'll back off. Wait, what? What have I done? How have I done this? How am I swimming upside down and backwards? This is so weird. How have I just stumbled across this bug? This is amazing. Oh no, I lost it. Oh well. Anyway, time lapse, start. Welcome back. This has been quite the transformation, hasn't it? Isn't it interesting how much you can do to a build if you work on the shape first and then add textures later? It's definitely a different way to building than what I do usually. Although I will admit, it does take a long time to build this way. But I think it's definitely been worth it so far. Now admittedly, there are some still unfinished things like the water spring here. I have some ideas that I want to do with that, but I can't work on all of them or this episode will never be released. Also, we unfortunately had some frog casualties. So you know how I added moss to this mud island in the middle here, and how mud is not actually a full block like moss is? Well, when I bone mealed the moss on the island, a few frogs clipped through the blocks and suffocated to death. So they need replacing. Why do frogs like to die so much? I have no idea. I'd love it here if I was them. Anyway, we've added our texture gradients going from mud to tuff to cobblestone to moss on our walls. And I've got to say, I really like how it turned out. There's definitely a good blend going on there. I also wanted to add a lot of greenery to this bottom lake, and I thought that I would make use of the new waterlogged leaves feature to really bring extra life to this place with the azalea leaves. I can just imagine all of the little critters swimming around down here in real life. It'd be lovely. And also terrifying because bugs, but still, you get the point. I wish I could see them in Minecraft, to be honest. They don't have to be real mobs. Just a few particles to indicate bugs in environments like this could be really cool. I wonder if I should add fish in here. Anyway, the frogs seem to love it, which is just the way I wanted it. But that is most of the Froggy Hole done. I will say that I may make some changes here in the future. For example, I might need to remove the azalea bushes because the frogs seem to get stuck under them. But other than that, I am incredibly happy with this place. We also have an unexpected pet within the walls of the crater too. I don't know if you can hear it, but we have a phantom here. Ah yes, there it is. I name tagged it Frog Nightmares because it's probably terrifying them. Now here's the weird thing. I don't know if I put this phantom here on purpose or not. Yeah, I know that sounds very weird, doesn't it? I can see how I would build around it as like a random off-the-cuff decision, but I genuinely do not remember doing that. I just noticed that I had a phantom in the floor and had to investigate at one stage and then gave it a name tag to stop it despawning. So maybe it put itself in there when I was building. I don't know. It's not often that I come across a mystery that I don't know anything about in this world because I built it. So this is definitely a weird experience. Our chest monster also grew a little bit. I need to take control of this thing at some point before it becomes a menace to the channel, like the other one already is. Anyway, I have a little clip to show you. So I was gathering moss and clay from the lush caves below my base, and I tried to jump across this giant hole here. But not only did I miss the jump, I somehow just narrowly avoided looking at an enderman and ended up straight in lava. Like, I was not expecting the disastrous consequences of missing a jump here, but wow, that did get my adrenaline pumping. Don't worry though, fire resistance is indeed a lifesaver. And I've always had a potion on me ever since I started work on the Nether, just in case. Potential unexpected sudden deaths aside though, I still need to gather more tadpoles, so let's just breed up my frogs a little bit until we have 69 bucketed tadpoles. You get some slime, you get some slime, you get some slime, you all get the slime! Now give me some tadpoles, please. While we wait though, our tools are not in the best of shapes. It looks like I've got to go on a repairing spree. Just ignore the empty slot with a missing netherite pick. I'm not quite sure I want to admit that I've already broken one so soon after creating them. Ah, here we are, once again at the gold farm. This fall tube is surely a thing of beauty. Hello Nether Chicken, how are you doing today? I thought I'd come over to kill some pigmen, seeming as that's my favourite activity nowadays. You should give it a try sometime. There we go, once again all of my tools are fully repaired. I hope I don't break any more in this video, but knowing me, that's probably going to happen. We should just accept that me breaking tools is like a force of nature at this point. There's no avoiding it. Now, the Froglight Farm that I hope to build in question requires powdered snow, since that's going to be what kills the larger magma cubes, leaving behind the tiny ones so that the frogs can eat them and give me froglights. Although I can't seem to see any in this tiny grove next to my smart mineshaft right now. Ah, there we go. This looks like it'll be a good patch of powdered snow for me to take from. Oh. I've fallen in. How typical. I think I probably have enough though. So let's just grab these shulkers and fly out of this hole. The other thing I'm going to need is a lot of torches to focus mob spawns on magma cubes specifically. Luckily for me, I mined a lot of coal during the digging out process of the Froggy Hole. So let's place all of this down and then mine it back up again. I thought I'd fill up more than one double chest here, so I placed down multiple, but I didn't even fill one chest with that. I vastly overestimated how much coal I had there. Still though, this should be enough coal to craft all of the torches I need. So the Froglight Farm in question is going to be centered on this Nether Fortress crossroads within the Nether Hole, since magma cubes like to spawn in larger numbers in the Nether Fortresses. I was originally thinking about making this crossroads the Wither Skeleton Farm, but I've decided to swap that with a different crossroads slightly further away from the Gold Farm so that it doesn't interfere as much. Fortress itself is in the way though, so let's just remove that. And now that that's removed, we are left with this single glass block which will serve as the center of our spawning pad. And what I'm going to do now is create a spawning pad out of slabs. It's going to be in a kind of semicircle shape, and I'm going to place iron golems at the flat side to attract the magma cubes. The iron golems are going to be a few blocks away from the spawning pads, and they're going to be standing on trapdoors so that I have enough space to stack as many layers on top of each other without worrying about space issues. And now that we have our spawning pad, we can fill out the entire floor with torches. And that is what we're going to use to block out the spawning of every other mob in the Nether, other than magma cubes and ghasts. Don't worry about the ghasts though, they won't have the space to spawn either once I'm done with this Froglight Farm. Although I totally blew a hole in the great red glass wall just then. Great. I don't need this glass block to mark the center anymore though, so that can go. Now we're going to build multiple spawning layers to this thing, but to make the best use out of the space we have, I'm going to go for a 2.5 block gap between layers, which is why the slabs are very important here. So I guess I just have to go ahead and build some spawning layers. I'll be back with you in a bit. And there we go. These are our completed spawning pads for the Froglight Farm. We've got 16 layers here, and all of them have been completely covered with torches, so we should only have magma cubes spawning here. I don't think we'll be able to make use out of the Nether Fortress bounding box for all of them, but it's another waste biome, so magma cubes should still spawn on all of the layers. Before I continue though, I just want to make sure I've got a proof of concept here, because it would be awful to build the whole farm just to discover it doesn't work. I don't want that to happen. I'm not seeing anything just yet though, but it's likely that the mob cap is already full. So let's fly around a bit and reset it. Ah, there we go! We have our very first teeny tiny magma cube! This is amazing! The farm's actually going to work! Hello there, teeny tiny! Oh, who's a big cutie cube? Oh, yes you are. Yes you are! I think you'll become a new addition to my nether here. So feel free to jump off the edge. I know you can survive it, and we'll see how you like this place. I don't really know what to build here to cover this thing up just yet, so for now, we're just going to cover the sides up with glass so that the magma cubes don't have anywhere else to go but towards the iron golems. And this way, I'll be able to see inside as well. Now I think the best way to install the golems is to drop them into place from the bottom to the top first. So let's break these trapdoors for now, and we'll get our golems in. I'm also going to be making use out of the fact that nether brick fences and normal fences don't connect to each other, so the magma cubes will be able to see the golems just fine and will come over to attack them and fall down a hole. In order to lock the golems in place, I'm going to block them with 3 glass panes for each layer. Their hitbox should prevent them from being able to move in there. So let's install our first golem. Will this work? Oh yeah, it does. Sweet. It's fallen straight into place. I just need to do that another 15 times and we should be good. Now the great thing about iron golems and trapdoors is that I can actually fit this trapdoor directly on top of this guy's head for the next layer. Perfect! Let's spawn some more golems. And there we go! That's 16 iron golems total for 16 separate spawning layers for the magma cubes. Now, does this work? I need another proof of concept. Oh, we have the cubes, and they're tracking the golems. That's fantastic. I think my farm might actually work, and work well once I've fully spawn-proofed the area too. I would quite like to protect our golems as well though, so we'll build another giant glass window to the front of this thing. So, for our frog chamber, we're basically going to do the same thing that we did with the frog farm with the Froglight Farm as well. The frogs will be on honey blocks to help prevent lag. I mean, there's going to be 69 of them after all. And they'll be prevented from entering the magma cube chamber by chain blocks. But the magma cubes themselves will be on top of trapdoors on top of hoppers, with powder snow placed above to kill the larger cubes. And our killing chamber is now pretty much complete. All I need to do now is add the frogs and we might have an actual functioning Froglight Farm. This is a very precarious place for frogs though. So it's going to be rather difficult getting them into place. So we're actually going to have to build a temporary safe tunnel to walk them in by. Sorry about this, but that chamber is for frogs, not for pigs. You're not supposed to go in there. And with that, the safe tunnel has been constructed. So we shouldn't have any frog disasters like we did earlier. So let's go get ourselves 69 frogs for the Froglight Farm. I think we actually have over 69 tadpoles here, but that's okay. We've got some spare in case something goes wrong. I mean, of course, nothing can go wrong because we have the safe tunnel now. But just in case, I don't want to accidentally miscount these little guys either. So we're going to have 23 tadpoles per shulker. We shouldn't have to count it all this way. Oh, we've gotten lucky here. Because we have the ocean and the mesa right next to each other at the 00 portal, we can get 2 different frog variants at exactly the same time. So we can get the sandy variant and the normal orange variant with no extra wait time. So I only really have to wait for tadpoles to grow up 2 times instead of 3. Let's just double check our ocean nursery. I think this is all ocean. Oh, that's actually quite close there. But we'll be okay, I think. And now, we wait. Oh, we have our first sandy frog. Oh my goodness, that is a lot of frogs. And this is only a third of what we're going to have. Well, I guess it's time to move them. I think doing them all at once would be a big mistake, so let's take them 5 at a time. Perfect. Now come with me, frogs. Ah! I thought the other side of the portal would be a hassle. How do they manage to scatter this much within just a couple of seconds of going through? No, that is the wrong tunnel. Hang on. There's a phantom in here? What on earth? How did that get here? Okay, we're in the right tunnel now. Come with me, you frogs. This is going to be the fastest your little legs have ever run. Can we get them around this corner? Yes, we can. Nicely done. I can hear lots of mobs on top of these tunnels, by the way. I'm really glad I put torches on the inside right now, or we'd be dealing with way too many mobs. Now get into the honey chamber, you frogs. There we go. So I think I can just detach the leads, and the hoppers should suck them up for me. Ah, yeah, there they are. Brilliant. And it looks like we've already got some magma cream in here as a byproduct. Wow. And with this frog, that should be the last of the sandy variant. So that should now be 23 frogs in the farm total. Time for the orange ones now. And it looks like we're starting to get a few froglights in here as well. That's awesome. Okay, come with me, please. These ones should be a little bit easier because they're literally right next to the portal. And that should be the last orange frog. Now we just need to go back to the deep dark and get some green ones.
And once again, we wait for the tadpoles to complete their transformation into their magnificent froggy bodies. I can only say that the experience is just as thrilling as watching paint dry or grass grow. It might even be up there with watching the YouTuber known as Whistler slowly but surely clear a big hole in the nether.
Oh no, I hear pain. Where is it? Ah, we've lost a frog. Oh, I was so close to being casualty-free with the Froglight Farm just then. Oh, I'm actually quite sad about that. I'm sorry about the sibling that you all just lost, but I'd like you all to come with me for a trip in the nether, please. Are they okay on the other side? Yes, they are. Excellent. We won't have the same disaster as last time. Oh, just look at their little legs go. Right, get into the farm, please. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, I have to wait for this last tadpole to grow up because that other frog just went up and died like an absolute numpty. Oh, finally. We have the last frog. This is the final trip. The final march of the frogs. And just see how they run. And there we go. That is the last frog. We now have 69 of them inside of our Froglight Farm. And they shall feast on magma cubes for eternity. Wait, is that a good thing? Because they're not exactly eating the cubes, because they're instantly throwing them back up again. Am I torturing these frogs? Let's not think about it too much. It looks like we have froglights of each 3 types in the storage chest over here though. So the farm does well and truly work. Now that the frogs are in place though, I can cover them up with glass. And I can also squish them in a little bit closer to the magma cubes with these pistons here. With our farm functionally complete, I can start work on a proper storage system for the froglights. Oh my goodness, that was loud. With our powers combined, eh? I often forget that the achievement noise is like that because I don't typically go for them. I actually quite like just randomly getting them playing the game without thinking though. It makes it much more of a surprise. Anyway, I wanted these froglights to designate which chests these are supposed to be. And we'll use a magma block to denote the magma cream just there too. So we have a pretty big storage system for the froglights and magma cream here with an auto-delete system for overflow. Is this overkill? Most certainly. I don't even know how fast this farm is going to turn out to be once I've spawn-proofed the area. But one thing's for sure, I am a hoarder, forever and always. And if I can get a lot of one block, then you can bet that I'll do everything I can to do that. Seriously though, we have 12 double chests for each different item here, and it's mirrored on the other side. I do not need 24 double chests of a specific froglight, but I've only gone and done that anyway. It's definitely overkill for the current rates though, we don't even have that many froglights at the moment. But we'll see what happens in the future. One thing I do like is that I can watch the magma cubes die in here. It just sometimes takes a while for a lone magma cube to get eaten sometimes. Oh, of course. As soon as I look away, it gets eaten. Thanks, game. Oh, we've got a big one about to go down. Let's see if we can get a good demonstration with this one. So the powder snow slowly but surely kills the bigger magma cubes until they split. And then it happens again for the medium ones. and then the frogs go to town. Yes! Feast upon the cubes, my minions! Anyway, that's enough of the frogs for this episode. It's time for us to clear Netherrack because we all know that I love to do that and it's not boring to do at all. Oh no, sirree! Anyway, let's get it out of the way and do this thing. And welcome back everyone, that was quite a bit of progress on the nether hole right there, wasn't it? We now have over half of the outer ring of netherrack totally removed. I hope I'll be done with the netherrack clearing some point soon, because it's always the thing I dread most in an episode. I will say though, if I could just get through these next few videos, then I'll be gone and done with, and I can move on to building, which will be the fun stuff. I have a main goal to have all of the netherrack, excluding the lava oceans, to be fully cleared by episode 75, so that the perimeter is basically done for the next world download. But wow, is that process exhausting sometimes? Who knows though, I might be able to go back to semi-regular videos once the big dig is done. The Froglight Farm was running the entire time during that time-lapse too. Oh, just look at them go! Those frogs must be hungry. I probably wasn't in range for 99% of the time-lapse though, but let's pop over and see what we have. So, this is the moment of truth. Is the Froglight Farm worth it for the minimal time that it's been running with the low rates? Oh. Okay, so we have barely anything. But it works! We will have Froglights in this world, and I am looking forward to being able to use them. I would just like to double check my iron golems though. Do any of them have cracks? Because if they do, then we have a problem. But I think they're alright. That's good. I don't think the magma cubes can reach them then, because I know the golems can reach the cubes. I've seen them just go ahead and bop them on the way down every now and then. But I think this is okay. Anyway, these froglights are actually a really cool light source. I just wish that they gave out coloured lighting as well, because then they would be absolutely perfect. We can't have everything though, sadly. But another thing that I wanted to show is that these froglights actually have a different side texture to the top texture, and they're also directional, so that makes them a little bit more interesting to play with, I think. Our tools need repairing again though, and I'm afraid to say that I have broken another 2 netherite picks once again. That makes 3 in 1 episode! Wow, am I a terrible person when it comes to tool use? I'm just sad that one of the ones I broke was my main named pickaxe. How am I supposed to subliminally message you all to subscribe when the pick with that name is already broken? I'll have to replace it at some point. Now I have one final thing that I want to show you all in this video. I have quite a few different chest monsters in this world, and I decided to go through the difficult process of merging most of them into one place and create a chest monster of absolutely horrifying proportions. You might want to brace yourselves, everyone, because this is seriously the storage situation in my world right now. And here it is. Yup. Now, I know what you're thinking. How on earth do I find anything in here? Well, believe it or not, there is actually a system to the madness here. I know I'm just making excuses, but seriously, I do know where the items I'm looking for generally are. Still though, I think it's quite clear that I have a pretty big problem on my hands right now. I'm scared for when this chest monster storage system grows beyond even my capabilities, and I worry that that day might well be very soon. But it's not today, so I don't have to worry about it just yet. Anyway, we have made a lot of progress in this episode. Probably too much progress. I definitely should have split this into 2 different episodes, but I get these things into my head, and I really want there to be a certain amount of progress before episode 75, and there is a lot to do. I even have a list. Still though, I am really happy with what I have achieved, and it's been quite a while since I worked on building anything at my base, so it's definitely been a long time coming. I mean, just look at the Froggy Hole here, and I don't even consider it done. I hope you enjoyed all of the madness from today's episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!